Hello and welcome back to Hammer at Sports Productions. I am doing another episode of Sports Debate with my good old friend Pecci, and he'll be answering various questions, which I'll make up as I go. Honestly, I don't like to do anything setly. So, first things first. What do you think is wrong with the frickin' Celtics?
Celtics. So I actually watched the game today. Did you?
No, I can't. I don't really get any of the games up here in Plymouth. So honestly, I can only see the game through box scores.
Yeah. So the Celtics are struggling right now. They just lost to the two worst teams in the NBA.
I know.
One of the two.
It's like mind-boggling. They at least compete with some of the best teams, and then they lose to these. They lost to the San Antonio. They lost to Detroit. They lost to the Wizards, and then there was that other team they lost to. I think they lost to the Bulls. I mean, for crying out loud, what the hell?
Yeah, they're struggling without Smart. I think his injury. Jason Tatum, he was 3 for 13 today for field goals. Like, he's a big part of the team. He's got to be hitting his shots in order for them to win.
Hell yeah. Jaylen Brown is finally coming to his own. Tatum is being Tatum. So it's like these guys are finally performing. And then Kimba, when Kimba is out there, he still gives you 20, 25 points. But for crying out loud, if we just need some consistency, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you're right.
At the rate we're going, we're not even going to make the freaking Eastern Conference Finals. It's like, what the hell do we need? We already have a rebounder in Tristan Thompson and Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and that's what I thought was our problem. But now I don't know what the problem is. And as you said, they're just underperforming, and maybe it is Smart. Maybe it's just that because they're missing his tenacity and leadership. But by now, Brown and Tatum should be the leaders.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kemba has stepped up his game since coming back. I'd like to see Tristan Thompson really, start, throwing him down, dunking him more, use his size. He has a lot of potential. I think he's a lot better than Tice. But, yeah, if he starts playing good, I think the Celtics will bounce back.
I absolutely agree. I love Tice. As much as I love Tice, I think he is a good player. He's just not going to cut it against these guys like Bam Adebayo and Carl Anthony. No, he's not a center. Embiid. And what's that other center from the Lakers? Jesus, I can't. The other Anthony.
AD.
Yeah, AD. He's just not going to cut it. So if Tristan Thompson can at least, hold his own, I think that would really help us at least control the game somewhat. But we'll hopefully see. He has some nights he plays pretty well, some nights he plays absolutely bad.
Yeah.
But there's no better coaching staff. Other than the Spurs, there's no better coaching staff than the Boston Celtics, in my opinion.
I think the Nets, Steve Nash is doing a really good job this year.
Oh yeah, I think he's doing a great job, and he didn't deserve the criticism for being hired. He was hired because
he's really making a good team with these three stars. They're really working well together.
Yeah, let's ask that question. Is Kyrie going to get traded?
I think Kyrie's pretty comfortable where he is. I like the chemistry between him and KD. I think Kyrie's still producing a lot of points. Harden even admitted saying it was tiring carrying the Rockets with points for so long. Now he can kind of, you know, be a big rebounder, you know, let Kyrie shoot a lot. You know, Kyrie's going to hit his shots. But I think the three of them is good. You know, they're easily one of the best in the Eastern conferences.
I do agree with you that he's going to shoot his points, but to me, the points aren't everything because I look at more than just the points. I look, what does this guy do in the locker room? How does he interact with his teammates? Do the teammates like him? Does he treat his coach with respect? And I've heard mixed reports about this at times because we all saw what the hell happened while he was here in Boston. And I loved the day that we got him. As much as I hated that we traded IT, we gave him the team. We wanted him to be a leader. He had his chance, and then he kind of just, what the frick happened? Then he backstabs Brad Stevens with comments and everything. Then he criticizes the Nets for hiring Steve Nash, and that was bogus. And then he decides to not even play because of what happened at Capitol Hill because he felt like, I don't know, I guess he felt sad or something. You tell me you're not going to play at a basketball game just because of outside things. Granted, yes, it was a big thing. For crying out loud, you're not injured. And then then because of that, he missed like 9-10 games, I think it was, in a row.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely has some attitude problems that he showed in Boston. He seems to be improving. He did kind of mess up this year by going to that party, missing almost like a week of games. You know, that hurt the team. But he does seem happier where he is. I like watching him. Compared to the Celtics, I definitely think he's improved, but he is still kind of young. And I think his attitude will be better over the years.
I hope so. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. I just hope he don't turn into what's a good comparison? Like turn into like what Carmelo Anthony was at one point with how his attitude was. While Carmelo has grown out of that and is now a great team player. He's like on the fringe of that. Well, he is actually that, but maybe he's now starting to grow out of it, which I hope he is. Or maybe we just don't know something. Maybe we don't know something, and we'll see how the year goes.
Yeah, you're right.
What?
Correct. I think you're right on that one.
Thank you. God, man, I can never crack my fingers enough. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Let's see, what you got? Any special questions you wanna ask or throw out there?
Let's see. Well, it's up to you. What do you want to stay on, basketball, or what else?
Just throw one out there. No matter what the sport, just throw one out there. That's the point of this show. We don't care what sport it is. We just throw the ball down the road and see what happens.
All right, let's switch it up a little bit. I know you're a big football guy, so what do you think Newton's future is looking like?
Oh boy. Patriots fans are gonna kill me. Give me a second. Oh, God.
I'm not a Pats fan, by the way, so I'm curious.
Wait, then what are you? What are you if you're not a Pats fan? Tell me right now. Broncos. Okay, well, okay. I'll let that one pass. If thank God it's not the Jets.
Yeah.
I want them to bring him back. Plain and simple. I think he can still be a very serviceable quarterback. I think they bring in one better wide receiver. They improve the offensive line, where at least a 9 to 10, or maybe even 11 win team. Because That offensive line, honestly, was one of the worst I've seen. I mean, yes, they had their moments, but we need more than just moments. Now, yes, he can't throw the football down the field, but he can still throw maybe 10 to 40-yard passes still. And be mindful, he was throwing to like when Brady only had in 2006, I think. Brady had Doug Gabriel, Rashard Caldwell, and Chad Jackson. It was basically that all over again. He had only Jacoby Myers, but Jacoby shows promise. I'll say that. He does show promise. What was that guy they brought over from Carolina? Damiere Byrd. And then what was that other guy they had? Jeez, I can't remember the guy's name. Actually, honestly, I think those were it. I mean, they did it. They did throw to Gunnar Olszewski sometimes, but really, they like are at the bare bones. Because after Edelman went down, they really had nothing. And we were still able to win 7 games. But I will also say this. I bet if we had gone 8-8 or 9-7, there wouldn't be such disdain to not bring him back. The media wouldn't be on his ass. The fans wouldn't be on their ass. Because if two plays in one game go differently, I can't even do this. I can't raise my finger up. There we go, 3. Those 3 things go to, if we score against Seattle, where that's 1 win. We beat Houston, which we should have beaten. I mean, that was a putrid team. And if we had beaten the Broncos, we're 9-7 or like 10-6, and we would have been in a better position. And people would be, let's bring him back, sign him to a 3-year contract. Let's do this. Let's retool. But no, everyone gets on his ass because we didn't win as many games.
Yeah, I think the COVID situation could have messed him up a little bit. I want to, if he comes back, I want to see him be the Cam Newton he was in 2015. That NFL MVP.
I don't know. That Cam might be gone because that was before he had torn his rotator cuff, 2 or 3 times. That was before, because now the ligaments aren't what they used to be, so we'll never see that Cam Newton again, sadly.
Yeah, he's still the leader for most touchdowns by a quarterback, which not a lot of people, I think, know.
Because nobody freaking gives a crap, because once you do it, nobody cares.
Yeah, so I think, if he brings that back, he is a good runner. He's a big guy.
He led the league. He led all quarterbacks this year in touchdowns, I think, with 12. He almost broke the franchise record for a single season, which was set by Steve Grogan back in '76, which he broke in his rookie year. Grogan rushed for, I think, 14. He rushed for, 16 or whatever? I forget the number right off the top of my head, but he showed he could still run and rush for touchdowns and everything. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I think his throwing game needs a lot of work. His form is totally off. And it's just about, the Pat's decision right now. I know they were looking at some other options. I know, I think Stafford was kind of a talk before he was signed with the Rams. But by the looks of it, I think he'll stay.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't already signed him to an extension yet. Maybe Belichick is just waiting till the new year begins to sign him to another contract, if he does sign him to another contract. But yeah, I was thinking they were going to bring in Stafford, but they didn't. And then everyone's saying, Deshaun Watson's going to come here. There's no way we're going to trade for Deshaun Watson. Are you insane? Do you really think that Bill Belichick is going to go out of his way to trade for Deshaun Watson? And the same And the same could be said for Russell Wilson, because everyone thinks Russell Wilson's going to get traded now, which it's not going to happen. I'm saying that now. Russell Wilson will not be traded. Geez, wait, I forgot even what you. Oh, geez. I think I started rambling on, and I forgot even the point I was trying to make.
Just about Newton staying.
Oh yeah, Newton staying. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe we're just waiting because honestly, I think Bill is just being Bill. He's being methodical, and he doesn't want anybody to know what the hell he's doing, and that's fine. It's as frustrating as it is to not know what he's doing. That's the best part, because then the league is just like holding their breaths at what the hell this mastermind is going to do. Like he's in his lab going, what might I do next to take over the NFL? That's what I imagine him doing right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Like if we just get a wide receiver and improve that offensive line, we're back. We're right back in it. We're right back in it. That's what I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so new topic. Let's see. What would I like to cover? Larry Fitzgerald. Will he become? Do you think he's going to retire or come back?
So Fitzgerald, he's already had a Hall of Fame career, I think. Yeah, he is old. I think we'll be losing a lot of guys this year. We're losing Breeze.
Well, he hasn't officially retired, but yeah, it's looking like it. I just want to point that out. Continue.
Yeah, it's been hinted. Frank Gore, what do you think about him?
Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back, no question. But again, about Fitzgerald, yeah, he's getting pretty old. He's going to be the oldest wide receiver in the entire NFL at 38. Yeah, he's already had a Hall of Fame career. There's not that much to improve, except all he needs is a goddamn ring. I'm just going to say it right now. He needs a goddamn ring. Get this man a damn ring. Goddamn. He needs a freaking ring.
My point, he hasn't gotten a ring. The Arizona Cardinals haven't been doing much over the years.
Well, last couple of years, I would like to make the point that they have been making moves because they traded for one of the best or the best wide receiver in the league. Yes, they drafted a top 10 quarterback back-to-back years, but Kyler Murray is improving phenomenally. Chandler Jones is still producing. They still have Patrick Peterson, who still showed that he's can be elite. Their defense is definitely getting better. They already have a good running game with what's his name? Kenyon Drake. I think that's how you pronounce his name. They have their running back. They have their wide receivers. I mean, they have a pretty good tight end. I forget the guy's name. But honestly, what they do need to improve is, I guess they do need to improve the defense a little bit more. The offense, I think, is fine. Defense, they need more pass rushers. That's what they need. They need more pass rushers, and they need at least another cornerback to go with Patrick Peterson. And that's what I think might attract him to come back. Because they went from a 5-11 gutter rat last year to now 8-8. Even though they did start 6-2 and collapsed, they went from that to 8-8. So next year they're probably 10-6, 11-5 in the playoffs. But and maybe they draft somebody in the first round, like a cornerback or a linebacker, to improve the defense, and that pans out. And maybe they go to a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, but will Larry still be there? Because honestly, at this point, trade Larry, trade him to Tampa Bay, trade him to a team that will win a Super Bowl. As much as he has showed love to the organization, Just let him win a damn Super Bowl. I don't care what uniform he's in. Just win this man a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's definitely running out of time. I did think he would have won a Super Bowl with Carson Palmer within that time span. But yeah, Murray's definitely an elite quarterback. So if they're gonna do it, yeah, next year's the year to do it.
Definitely. And if he wanted to retire, if he had wanted to retire, he would have done it by now. Excuse me. So I think he still does want to come back. But there is that side. But he did post career lows in receptions and receiving yards. So it's getting up there.
Yeah.
All right. You want to go? You want to go with another topic?
Sure. Do you want to switch over to the Bruins?
Sure. What do you got for the Bruins?
So, they're easily one of the best teams right now in the NHL. I think with Pasta coming back, that was a huge help. Off that injury, he's back to his old self. He's still a great player. That hat trick coming back just shows that he's very elite. He's right up there with McDavid and Draisaitl for points, I think, in the near future.
The Bruins are a damn enigma. I thought we were going to absolutely suck this year, I'm going to be honest, because I thought our window of contention was closed because of how poorly we played in the playoffs. Even though we had played a President's Trophy level great in the regular season, but then the COVID thing hit, and but I thought because we had lost Chara and because we had lost, I think it was, who did we lose? Didn't we lose Torrey Krug to the Blues?
Yeah, he went to St. Louis.
And then we lost Joe. No, we didn't. Johansson was the other year. So we lost Krug, we lost Char. So I thought we were going to revert to middle of the pack of how we used to be. But they are surprising me with how good they are playing together. I mean, with 10-2, with 2 overtime losses, and we're killing everybody. I mean, we lost just yesterday, but that's before that we were on a 4-game winning streak. I mean, they are playing out of their damn minds. And do you know how many games there are this year? Because I know it's a shortened season.
Yeah, I think it's around 60 games. I know it's usually 80 or so.
So 60 games. If we do this over 60 games, then we take this into the playoffs, barring injuries and everything, we definitely could have a shot for it. I don't want to jinx it and say what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, the thing that we like to raise over our heads. We may have a shot for it, and I would love to see it, but I wish the Chara was still here. But if we can do it, it would be great. It would be great. After all the hell that we've been put through with our sports.
Yeah, I definitely think the loss of Chara wasn't a lot. He's the oldest in the NHL right now. He looks comfortable on the Capitals. Looks like, he's fitting right in. He's doing okay. He wasn't a, big point guy for us.
Well, it wasn't always about the points. It was just the fact that he was a very good leader, and that he was a great penalty kill player. And if you got anywhere close to the net, he was going to grab you and bend over and say, "Get the frick out of my goaltender's face."
Yeah, I definitely think Bergeron is taking up the captain spot. Pretty good. He's been on the team, longer than Chara has. So
he's been on the team as long as I've been alive. He's been with them since 2003. I was born 2002.
Yeah, so he definitely well deserved, of course. I think he's doing the right things by their record.
Yeah, and I think the goalies are doing great. Penalty kill is doing great from what I've seen. The power plays are doing okay. Coaching, barring any of those stupid idiots in the front office do anything, I think everything's going to work out. And again, barring anything from those idiots in the front office, the freaking boys club that they are, if they don't, they better not screw this team up. If they screw this team up, they're gonna freaking. I'm still pissed at them for what they did. I'm just gonna put it. You know, all of you know what I'm talking about by what I mean by what they did to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with Mr. Lord, we're coming for you. We want you back. We want you back at Town Hall, and we want you back at the Boston Children's Hospital so I can take another picture with you. Oh, while we're still on the subject of the Bruins, could you see Tuukka retiring after this year? Or maybe we not renew his contract?
I don't see him retiring. He's still, arguably top 5 goaltender in the league. I didn't expect him to come back this year after the way he left. I think it was
that really. I still can't blame him for what he did, but continue.
Yeah, like family first, of course, but playing a game and then leaving was a little disrespectful, I think, to his team. I didn't expect him to come back. I thought last year would be the last year, but I do see him getting traded eventually.
You mean you see him getting traded?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right, these are my feelings on it. I think, because I even made a video about it, and I was furious that he left, because this was before we even knew about the whole family thing. I thought he was being selfish, a jerk. I didn't know how he was going to look his teammates in the eye. I thought we were going to trade him immediately after the season. I thought he was done with the Bruins. That's what I was thinking. But then we find out about the family thing, and I'll say it again. I apologized for everything I had said. You if it's family, that's what comes first, no matter what. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what the stakes are. Even if it's in a championship Stanley Cup. If someone in your family is in trouble, you go. It doesn't matter. I think the reason that they're still doing so well is that he told his teammates beforehand. He told his teammates, he explained the situation, and he got their blessing. And that's why none of them made comments about this whole situation. And while maybe I am wrong, but the reason I'm saying this is I'm basing this off of actions. None of them said a statement about it. They all. None, and barely any of them answered questions about it. So that tells me that they had an inner conversation, and they chose not to say anything. Hopefully based on the fact that they had a prior conversation, or they just didn't want to start a controversy. I'd like to think it's the other one, just for peace of mind. But how we're so well playing right now in the season, I think it is what I'm thinking. What I'm saying happened, so let's just go with that. And if we do trade him, again, I will freaking wring every single one of those guys' necks in the front office. I will wring their damn necks if they trade him. Just like they trade Thornton, Boychuk, Lucic, and everybody else, and traded Claude Julien like an idiot.
Yeah, he's looking good on Montreal.
And I'll say this: it wasn't his fault. We shouldn't have fired him the way we did. I still remember the day they fired him. I was on Main. I think I was on Main Street. It was the same day as the Super Bowl parade. I was walking down my Main Street, and I was looking through my thing because I was getting ready to go to the parade. And I was like, oh, what's this? Bruins fire Claude Julien as Bruins head coach. I lost my mind. I'll just say that, and we can change the subject if you want. But yeah, I lost my mind. Very classy on their part.
Yeah. Yeah, after that 2011 win, I thought he was here to stay. But, Bruce Cassidy definitely is a good coach, I think.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think Bruce Cassidy is a great coach, too. But it's because they didn't screw him over they haven't screwed him over like they did Julien. Because, as I said, they traded every valuable piece from that 2011 and 2013 rosters. They traded everybody, and then they pissed off all the guys. They made some terrible trades. I mean, the Milan Lucic trade was terrible. The Boychuk trade was terrible. The Horden trade was terrible. I mean, we didn't get back anything. The best valuable piece we got was Louis Eriksson, and we didn't even sign him to a contract extension.
Yeah, I would still regret the Eriksson trade. Riley Smith was in that too, but
oh yeah, that's right, Riley Smith. Yeah, we screwed him over like idiots, and then we didn't we also didn't bring back Yarmir Jagr, even though we traded him mid-season when we could have brought him back.
Yeah, I think the biggest loss was definitely losing Sagan, going back.
Oh, I forgot about Sagan. See what I mean? There's so many guys we got rid of. You forget about the other ones.
I would have sleepless nights looking back at that. Like what Sagan has done. Like he should have stayed. Should have kept him.
Yeah, we should have kept him, but our front office is a bunch of boys club idiots. Yeah. Maybe I'll buy the team one day. Maybe I'll buy the team, and then I'll make you my VP.
Let's make it happen.
All right, if you want to go enter in the Mega Million sweepstakes, if you want to help me buy 100 tickets, let's do it. Well, I don't think even 300 million would be enough because I think the Bruins are almost worth $1 billion, so we'd need at least $2 billion to buy them.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I stock up enough on from my sports playing career that we'll get something. All right, let's get into personal and now instead of still talking about pro sports. You still playing sports?
Yeah, hockey just got canceled for Corona. We were 8-1, so it's pretty devastating.
Champions.
Yeah, this year's very unfortunate, but I'm going to college for golf next year.
Golf.
Yep.
Full of sports. Golf.
Hey, if you're good at something, pursue it.
Well, I'll have to take you around a mini golf and see how good you really are. Because I'm a damn good mini golf player. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a damn good one, surprisingly. So I'll have to take you on. Yeah, I'm still playing hockey. I also got into football. Well, yeah, you remember that and kind of that fiasco in the second season.
Yeah.
I kind of do regret how that situation all ended up. I will say that. Yeah, I do regret what happened. Yeah, so I'm still playing hockey. I haven't played hockey as of late, and I was going to play hockey here at the college. I was going to try out and everything, but I kind of, the workload because of the online stuff, I just couldn't balance the two. So sadly, I can't play sports here at the college, but as soon as the year's up, I talked with my father recently. He's going to, hopefully we find some teams. I'll try out for a few, get back into that. I've made some strides with my football career. And I've talked with my coaches, and one of them would introduce me to semi-pro football teams in the Boston area. And then I've also looked into the venture of getting into arena football, because there's an arena football team in Massachusetts called the Massachusetts Pirates, and you get paid $200 a game. And hopefully, if I can get good enough, I get on the team. I make some. I keep half and save the other half. Make some money, and try to build up some capital. That's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I just got to work at it, honestly. I just got to work. I got to work hard, and just stay away from all the drugs and everything, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to stay away from, because I do not need to put cocaine up my nose, because I think bubble gum does it for me. I'm addicted to that.
Yeah, well, if you get good at football, then you might have to do that if Johnny Manziel's your quarterback.
Oh, wait, back up. That's the fan-controlled football league. I'm talking about indoor football league. These are two different leagues. These guys play up here in the Northeast. They play down south in Georgia.
Yeah, well, you might work your way up.
If he does well in that, he's going to go straight to the XFL or something. Because I don't see him coming back to the NFL anytime soon, even if he does well in the fan-controlled league. But yeah, so that's my plan. And maybe I try out for a fan-controlled football league team. That would be something if I got to try to tackle Johnny Manziel, because I'd love to see if I could tackle somebody as elusive as him. Hopefully, it doesn't make me look like an idiot. But by the time I get there, he'd be what, 30, 32, 33? I don't know if he'd still be there. Why is it so? Why are we both just staring at each other? Are we like
covered
both?
A lot. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Yeah, a couple more things. Okay. So I guess we were both expecting the other one to say something, but I guess we just talked our ways. We just had everything. We said everything we wanted to say. Oh, okay, yeah. So this one, I've asked a couple people this question. What did you think of when Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks, and who has now since rescinded this order, what did you think of him stopping stopping the playing of the national anthem before basketball games?
Yeah, I thought that was definitely a big mistake. Something he would probably regret. You shouldn't reverse tradition. And the NBA proved that what he was doing was wrong. And I'm actually happy that NBA finally did something kind of good and making them keep doing the national anthem.
I'm actually surprised that the NBA stepped in, because I didn't think they were going to step in. I thought they were going to be spineless idiots like the NFL commission is and not do anything. But they surprised me. They stepped in. They stopped him and everything. And I think he should be fined for what he did, because honestly, I think it was more than just a bad thing. I think it was a disgrace to the country. I think it was a disgrace to people that have fought for this country and have fought for that flag. And for you to not even play the anthem that they have died for and spilt their blood for and given their limbs is the ultimate disgrace. And I think he's going to feel the backlash of this for years to come, because I think they've lost some of their fan base, not because of the players, not because of the team itself, just because of him and his nepotism.
Yeah.
It was just I still remember how shocked I was because I couldn't believe that somebody would actually do that. And I hope people don't get the idea to do more of this, because if you're not even going to play the national anthem, then what the hell is the point of being a United States American? What's the point of being an American?
Yeah. I thought maybe he was trying to prove a point, but
But what kind of point could he possibly prove, unless he was trying to really take this to political, be political and everything? But I mean, yeah, there's times when sports and politics need to intertwine, but this wasn't one of them. This is something that should have never even been considered.
Yeah, well, you can take it all the way back to, Colin Kaepernick. I feel like, what he did, it's expected that some people have similar ideas. And one of the ideas is to stop playing the national anthem.
It's such a touchy subject to talk about, Colin Kaepernick. Because I do agree with some of the things that he did or said, but then there are other things that I totally disagree with in what he did. Is that he praised Castro? What was the other thing he did? And then there was that big thing when he stopped the Nike from sending out this shoe brand that had the original 13 Stars America flag on it, and made them not produce it and everything and sell it out. And I thought that was a disgrace, just because you so-called are going to offend people. What the hell are you going? That was the first American flag. That was the first true red, white, and blue stripes. And you're saying that's going to offend people? That is our lifeblood in this country. I'm not trying to get political here, but those are my true feelings. And then there was one other thing. Do you remember there was something else he did? Do you remember what it was, Pecci? I'm trying to remember it.
I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention to it too much. I loved him as a football player, but after he stopped playing, I didn't pay too much attention.
And I will say this I do agree. I do love that the fact that he has been very gracious. He does donate a lot of his money to charities. I love that he does that. I love that he does that. I do think, and as again, some of his points were valid, but then some of his other points were not valid. I don't want to get into that, but I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, because I don't want to get too political with this. Okay, so I guess this will be our last topic, I guess. So I want to get a good one for our last topic. Let's see. JJ Watt. Can you see him going to Tampa Bay? Oh.
Not really. So JJ Watt is obviously a great defensive player. I think leaving the Texans was a good idea by how long he's been there and how the records have been over the years. I think he's going to find a team that he likes, and, hopefully what he wants to do is win a Super Bowl.
I also made a video about this recently, and it hasn't took off like some of my other ones. And I made the point that he's maybe going to go to Pittsburgh because of his brothers. But I also made the point that I can't see him going to Pittsburgh because of how toxic of an environment the Pittsburgh Steelers are. Because I've been following the Pittsburgh Steelers just because I'm a fan of Urinating Tree. He's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but he's also a very critical fan because he loves his team so much, and he hates the team that they've become. And honestly, I could just see him getting into a fight with Ben Roethlisberger about leadership and about being a good teammate, and I doubt he would want to have to deal with that. So that's why I think he probably goes to Tampa Bay for a little bit of cheap for maybe 1-2 years. Gets a Super Bowl, maybe goes to another couple Pro Bowls, and really gets better into his 30s and everything if he stays healthy. Because I still think he does have something left in the tank. And I think he didn't feel like there was anything to play for last year because the Texans were awful. So, I mean, I'm not saying he held back his effort, but you usually play better when you have something to play for. Because even if you want to go out there, you want to physically dominate, you want to physically be the best that you can be, it still like gets into your psyche. Like, okay, then what am I going to do this for? Because your team's losing.
Yeah, back on Pittsburgh, that would be very interesting if he went play with his brother. You know, T.J. Watt just had the best season of his career so far. You know, great year. You know, Pittsburgh had a great year. I'm not a fan of them at all. I think Juju's like a big joke. He doesn't really take the NFL that serious, and I think if he did, you know, they would have went a lot further in the playoffs. You know, I don't know what the deal is with Ben. You know, I would like to see him go, and for the Steelers to get someone new, someone young, so they can kind of rebuild their team as a better team.
But the sad thing is they don't have anybody because they're honestly they're nincompoops over there because they don't like to make these kinds of moves. Because do you remember the last time you ever heard of a Pittsburgh coach getting fired?
No.
Exactly, because they don't fire coaches. They don't fire them. They'll sign them to a contract, and even if they're terrible at their job, they won't fire them. They'll just let their contract expire and say, we just don't want to bring him back. When in reality, it's basically getting fired, but in a Pittsburgh sense. So they're never going to fire Mike Tomlin unless the guy retires. They won't get rid of Ben unless his contract expires, or something. And that's the sad thing. And I mean, well, yeah, they have Dwayne Haskins, but I mean, if Dwayne Haskins can stop being a bit of an idiot with some of his actions, and yeah, he basically was being an idiot with some of his actions, he could still be a great player. But right now, people consider him a bonehead right now, and that's a moniker he earned of being a bonehead with his actions because his actions spoke louder. Now, he could be a guy to maybe replace Ben, but that's not what's going to happen because Ben's going to ride out his contract and still be a jerk to his teammates, and they're not going to win in a Super Bowl, and they're not going to win a playoff game. Simple as that.
Yeah, you're right. I think Mike Tomlin has, you know, he has like one of the best records as a coach. You know, he's pretty young too, so I think you won't hear about him getting fired anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I know he's not a great coach, but he's a good coach. He's a good coach. He can't manage a game clock for the life of him. I don't know why, but he can't manage a game clock. He does cover his eyes and ears when it comes to in-team controversies because he didn't do anything to stop Ben and AB from being like contentious with each other. He did nothing when Le'Veon Bell was on emphatical, and he did nothing when what's his name? He did nothing when God, what the hell am I thinking of? I don't know. I guess it just doesn't do enough. It seems that's what I see. It just doesn't seem. Yeah, he is a top 10 coach. I will say that He is a top 10 coach, but it just doesn't seem at certain times he just doesn't do enough. That's what separates him from being Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It's they're just a bad team, and they rightfully got their asses killed. I loved it. I enjoyed myself to such an extent watching them get utterly. I smiled that whole time. I smiled.
Yeah, it's definitely good seeing them get destroyed.
And then I did want to touch on that last point about Juju. I don't know if Juju's taking this as a joke, but he definitely didn't. He definitely wasn't professional. Because a urinating tree has made the point that he might be turning into a cancer, like Antonio Brown did, but not in the normal sense. And maybe to some extent, I think he is right, because there is one thing. If there's one thing a person should never do, is that they should dance or do anything on an opposing team's logo. Are you trying to get yourself killed? Do you remember what happened to Terrell Owens when he looked up to God on the Dallas Cowboys star? He got his ass wrung. And then then you saw what happened to the Baltimore. Baltimore stepped and stomped on the Tennessee Titans logo after what they had done to their logo. You do not touch a team's logo, but you decide to do it every other week. But I'm surprised nobody made a point of this until they started losing. Nobody said a word about this during their winning streak, which is beyond me. Like, they don't say anything to you when you're winning, but they'll say everything when you're losing. Make up your goddamn mind, sports media. Talk about it when it needs to be talked about. That should have been talked about as soon as we saw it happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Juju's a really good player. He has the brain of a child. He's doing the same dances that, little teenage girls are doing, and then posting them and getting absolutely rocked.
He got wrong against Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's extremely cocky. Obviously, the first 3/4 of their season, was spectacular. I never thought they'd lose, until when it gets to playoff time, you gotta start acting a little more serious. And he just kept doing what he wanted to do.
Definitely. But the same could be said for the whole Darren team. They started pointing fingers at each other. Ben looked like a terrible quarterback. Mike Tomlin couldn't scheme. They just looked like a terrible team. They looked nothing like they did in the first 11 weeks. And rightfully so, they've become a meme.
Yeah, they have.
They became a meme. But it's going to happen again next year. I'll just say it now. They're going to, once again, be a good team next year. They'll probably win 11, 10 games. Everyone will be all saying, oh, it's going to be this different this year. Oh, we're going to be so good. And then you're going to lose 50-0 to somebody in the first quarter.
I hope so.
That's going to happen again, because nothing is going to change. As I said, they don't fire coaches. They just let their contracts conveniently expire, as Urinating Tree would say.
Yeah.
It's just really frustrating. But I'm just glad they're not my team.
Me too.
So thanks. Honestly, how long have we been talking? So we started we've been talking for about an hour.
Yeah, we doing it again tomorrow with Pecci.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait for that. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ask the same amount of questions, the same questions. I probably will ask a few similar questions, but we're going to mix it up a little bit tomorrow, because honestly, as I said before, I come up with these questions as I go. I don't like to write. You can see from my glasses, I don't write these things down. That's the best part about me. I make it up as I go.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.